Good morning, dear students. Today in this video we are going to discuss the question and answers of the two poems Voice of the Rain and Childhood. So let's begin with the Voice of the Rain. What does the phrase strange to tell mean? The phrase refers to a strange phenomenon. The rain gives an answer to the poet's query. It is surprising to report the answer. Rain cannot answer, but it answered the poet. That is the reason it is strange to tell. Next is, there is a parallel drawn between rain and music. Which words indicate this? And explain the similarity between the two. So we have two questions. First, which words indicate this? Second, explain the similarity between the two. The following words or phrases indicate the parallel between the rain and music. These words are poem of earth or poem of earth. Somewhere it is a comparison with song. Eternal I rise impalpable out of land and the bottomless sea. For song, duly with love returns. These are the phrases. Both originate from a source, rise up, reach fulfillment, wander about whether cared about or not, and finally return to source of origin with love. Same happens with rain and music. Next is, how is the cyclic movement of rain brought out in the poem? Rainwater rises untouched out of the land and deep sea and gathers in the sky, where it changes form. It becomes droplets and then clouds, and then comes down to earth and to bathe the dry tiny particles of dust layers and all that lies buried under it. Then it returns to the place of its origin. Science textbooks indicate that water vapors from the rivers and oceans rise up to the sky due to the intense heat, water evaporation. They assume the form of clouds and water condensation drop down as rain. The water flows back through rivers to the seas and ocean. So this is the cyclic movement of rain. Next, very important is, why are the last two lines put within brackets? Those two lines which are about song. The last two lines contain a comment about music and its cycle. These differ from the first 9 lines. The first 2 lines are the voice of the poet where he asks questions, whereas lines 3 to 9 are spoken by rain. The cycle of song is put within bracket to mark the difference in speakers but similarity in content. So yes, the speaker is different. Earlier we had two speakers. In the first and second line the speaker was the poet. 3 to 9 lines the speaker was rain, and in the last 2 lines the speaker is song. Speaker is changed, but the content is same. Next is, the poem begins in a conversational tone. Who are the two participants? What is the advantage of this method? The two participants are the poet and the rain. First 2 lines and the last 2 lines are said by the poet, and the middle part is said by the rain. The poet makes the rain relate its own story. This direct presentation makes the narration more authentic, interesting and captivating, because narration is in this way that rain is speaking. So this is the reason the poem or the content has become more interesting and captivating. Next is, behind the apparent clear simplicity, outer simplicity, the poem hides a deep meaning. What exactly does the poem convey to the reader? The poem is not merely only a description of life cycle of rain that you have read in your 6th standard. It has deeper meaning. Rain is a poem or thing of beauty of earth, and so is song or music. The comparison between rain and music and their function, making the earth pure and beautiful, conveys the eternal role of natural phenomenon and art in real life. The deep meaning is that the natural phenomenon and the different arts have very much importance in our real lives. Last question from the poem The Voice of the Rain. How does the rain justify its claim, I am the poem of the earth? The rain narrates the journey of its life from birth to return to origin in mythical terms. It's mythical terms. The facts are scientific, but the phrases that convey them are metaphoric and literary. There is always a comparison in the poem. The whole journey has a beauty and charm associated with the poem. So, yes, the rain justifies its claim that it is the most beautiful thing on the earth. So, it can be said to be the poem of the earth. Now, let's begin the question and answers of the poem Childhood. What, according to the poem, is involved in the process of growing up? According to the poem, the loss of childhood is involved in the process of growing up. If one is grown up, he will have to lose his childhood. This loss is compensated by some gains which come with adolescence, like you have your own ideologies, you think that you can make your own opinions. These are increase in understanding, power of rationalizing and discrimination, as well as a sense of individuality and self confidence. When you are not more a child, you become your understanding is increased, you are more rational, you can discriminate now, and you are a particular individual. What are the poet's feelings towards childhood? The poet regards childhood as an important stage in the process of growing up. Childhood is a period of make believe. Okay, somebody says you something and you believe. Children readily accept whatever the elders say. The poet doesn't feel any regret or sense of loss on losing his childhood. Next is, which do you think are the most poetic lines and why? The following lines in the poem are most poetic, telling us the deeper meaning and having all the beauties like poetic lines. Those are, it went to some forgotten place that's hidden in an infant's face. That's all I know. These lines beautifully sum up the process of growth and disappearance of a particular stage of life, that is, childhood. These lines have a figurative or metaphorical meaning as well. The infant's innocent face hides many things behind its smiles. Perhaps the childhood lies hidden in some forgotten place, lying buried deep inside a child's consciousness. Maybe that childhood is there in a uh, deep inside a child's consciousness. So it can be a metaphorical meaning as well. Next is, what did the speaker learn about the existence of heaven and hell? As the speaker grew up to be mature, he acquired reasoning power. He realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography books or atlas, since they could not be found located anywhere in the world map. He concluded that they did not exist because they are not on the map, so it means they do not exist. He would believe only what he could see and find. So he has become rational now. How did the speaker realize the hypocrisy of the adults? Hypocrisy, a changed behavior, okay, means a person who says something else but is something else. The speaker noticed a wide gap between what adults appeared to be and what they actually were in real life. There was apparent contradiction between their words and deeds. They said something else, but they did something else. They talked of love and advised others to love, but they never acted lovingly. They were always angry. So, this was noticed by the poet when he became mature. Last question of the poem is, how did the realization of being the master of his own mind help him? The realization that he was the master of his own mind, he could use in his mind in his own way and could use it in any way he liked, filled him with self-confidence. He could now think independently and need not repeat parrot-like thoughts of others like children do. So these were the question and answers. Note down these question and answers in your notebook. And now some more vocabulary for you. And these are very much used words which we always use. Thank you, sorry, good luck. And now I'm telling you other ways to say these words. So let's discuss other ways to say thank you. We can say, I really appreciate it, or I owe you one. I can't thank you enough. Thanks a million. I'm so grateful that you have helped me. You are great. You are the best. Thanks a bunch for coming. So, in this way, you can use this word. Next, very much used word, that is sorry. You can say it in many of the ways, like, oh, I apologize, or I owe you an apology. I beg your pardon. Sorry about that. Sorry I couldn't come. Sorry about my behavior. I'd like to apologize. Oh, my bad. I have broken your pen. My mistake. So, these are the ways to say I'm sorry. The last one, if something is boring, you can say it's tedious. The day is dull. The book is uninteresting. This work is so tiresome or boring. Monotonous. My life is becoming monotonous. Lifeless or mundane. So you can use these words and note down these words in your notebook. Try to use them whenever you are writing or speaking. Then definitely you will be having load of vocabulary when you are coming to the grounds to show your communication skills. Have a good day.